I am pleased to be joined by the best, maybe the only doctor from Broken Bow, Nebraska, population of 3,559, Dennis Whitaker, aka Huckleberry, real name Gerran Howell, and actually from Wales.
Yeah, hey.
Gerran, welcome to the SchmearCast.
Hey man, thank you for having me.
Happy to have you. So, how have the past few months been as the Pitt has become one of the buzziest, best received shows of the year?
Yeah, crazy. I didn't see it coming at all. It's very weird because I'm back in London at the moment, so I'm not really seeing the full effect of it, but it really seems like it's been like a real word of mouth thing. It feels like sort of the old days of TV again, where it's sort of really built that momentum. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's incredible. So I'd love to know about your audition or self-tape for the role of Dennis Whitaker. What was that directive, and why do you think you won the role?
Oh God, I don't know. Right place, right time. I don't know. It was a very like standard audition process. It was two self tapes, I believe,
Hmm.
with sort of a very small amount of sides, and then it was just straight onto a Zoom call with John and casting and everyone just sort of there. I remember one of the scenes was like a CPR scene,
Mm.
sort of having to mime CPR off screen. And yeah, it was kind of terrifying, but it was all a bit of a blur. Who knows what they saw in me?
Right. Obviously, you're not from Nebraska, but what was in the character description, maybe?
You know what? To begin with, it was just farm boy med student, and
Got it.
that was all they gave me. So it was. I don't think that says a lot, really. But yeah, it wasn't much to go on.
For viewers who might not know, or audiences who might not know, you had 2 weeks of a medical boot camp with real text showing you the legit procedures, many of which made their way into the show. I know you sucked some blood as young Dracula once upon a time, but were you squeamish about the excrements and the liquids and the blood? What was that experience like?
Yeah, I do have some experience with blood, I suppose. But yeah, no, it was a crash course. It was completely vital. But we were all put into a boot camp that was 2 weeks of just being shown the ropes by, I think we had sort of five or six med techs come onto a stage and sort of individually show us through every procedure that we'd be doing in the show, some that weren't in the show, I believe. But I mean, it was everything from handling tools and syringes and apparatus to actually performing on patients. It was sort of everything, and then some real grisly videos also.
Mm.
Yeah, of just operations on a massive screen. That was just sort of a bit traumatic.
The prop department, is that real blood? Is that fake blood? Is it a combination?
Oh my God, dude. Well, it's not real blood, but I believe they have like five different variations of fake blood and
Different
oh yeah.
colors?
Oh, it's a whole thing, yeah. Different
What
coagulations.
department is that? Who does that?
That would be, I mean, it's a big team, but yeah, I mean, like Cody is the guy who's always on set with us and sort of talking us through stuff, and he's a superhero. He's just running around constantly with the exact correct thing you need when you need it. He's the best.
That's incredible. I don't think it's controversial to say that my favorite episode is 8 p.m., the 14th episode, and you have the best, biggest moment in that when someone needs to help Dr. Robby get back on his feet during his breakdown. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed it'd be Whitaker, but because I wouldn't have guessed that, it makes it all the more right. When you first read that scene, what did you think, and how did you approach then filming it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't think I Whitaker would be the one, to be honest, but yeah, it kind of really makes sense, and it's kind of a nice full circle moment of having sort of a mentor mentee relationship, and then
Hmm.
coming full circle. And I think from watching Whitaker, he's probably the least sort of likely person that you would think is capable socially of just sort of getting someone out of that. But I think in that moment, he's just thinking survival, and we really just need Robby. It was a lovely scene. I mean, Noah just knocks out the park, and he is just. It was just horrible to walk into that room and see Noah like that, and that just sort of did most of the work for me. There
Mm.
wasn't too much rehearsal involved, especially when you have like an actor who's just everything's bubbling under the surface. You just want to do it and see what happens, and I think that really worked. And it was really like me walking into seeing, Noah Wyle having a breakdown. It was sort of it got me a bit,
Of
who's
course.
been a bit of a mentor to all of us.
On set, off screen?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah,
Because
no,
of course he's a veteran of the most famous medical drama ever. So was he helping in terms of your psychology as an actor and performance? What was he providing to you specifically?
it's a little bit of everything. I think it's important to let everyone discover things on their own, but he
Sure.
is always there. Like I think if any of us had problems or did have any problems or insecurities, there's no doubt that Noah would be the person we go to. And yeah, I mean, like you said, he's a veteran and he's the lead, he's the producer, he's the writer, so he has to set a precedent and set the tone. And yeah, he's just the best, man. He's
Right.
incredible.
It's a real steadiness, I'd describe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so it makes sense that the actor provides that as well as the character.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of mirroring going on for all of us coming into the show, and yeah, it was really beautiful.
Well, off that, I mean, Noah Wyle said that after Langdon's betrayal, Whitaker is his new favorite doctor.
Okay.
A lot of pressure. How does that feel? And I guess the serious question of this is what qualities do you think Whitaker wants to learn from Dr. Robby the most?
Steadiness, actually, I think is a great
Mm,
one. Dr. Robbie is just a bit of an anchor for Whitaker. I don't think we've really seen like Whitaker sort of navigating situations without being completely just overwhelmed, and his like
hmm.
nervous system is completely overwhelmed. And I think that is one of Whitaker's whole purpose, is to be a character that is just so overwhelmed by everything, but is persevering. So I don't know. It could go so many ways.
Well,
Sort of.
give yourself some credit. You're a fourth year med student. You're not the
Yeah.
doctor quite yet.
No, he's competent, but he bless him, he is struggling.
So, as a Jewish person, I was really moved by Dr. Robby reciting the Shema, and
Hmm.
then equally moved when your character, a theology major turned doctor, quotes the Bible back to him in this amazing multi faith moment. And it
Hmm.
could be a stretch, but I feel like there's something almost biblical in the whole why me of Whitaker and what he goes through with the fluid and the death and all the trials and tribulations. So, was that moment exactly as it is in the script, or did you and Noah Wyle bring any of your own backgrounds into that scene?
I mean, I'm not sort of in a particularly in a religious sort of sphere at the moment,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I mean, it's how the characters interact, and it was a surprise to me, the whole theology thing.
Hmm.
I had some information of Whitaker's family, are sort of that way inclined, and yeah, it was a lovely thing that is what they connect on, like outside of everything of trying to be an impressive doctor and saving lives,
Right.
and however much Whitaker is going through, he's still sort of capable as a human to connect and, sort of snap Robbie and out of something and relate to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really lovely moment.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to get into theology here on the show, but it's like you
Woo!
see a mass casualty event and you're like, is there religion? Is there a God when you see just the horror of this?
Yeah, I
So
mean, yeah,
I
that's
was
whole,
glad
that's
you
Rob's
two
whole.
got to unpack that in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. It felt like a very special moment. Like, what can people like that possibly connect on? And
Right.
yeah, it's nice.
Sorry to stay on the topic, but you've done a few war projects, 1917, Catch 22, Freedom's Path. And I'm curious if any of that found its way into Whitaker, especially later on when the pit feels like a MASH unit mid-combat.
Interesting. Yeah, I think at that point it is just, I mean, all of Whitaker's insecurities, even though he does keep messing up still and everything, just have to go out
Mm.
the window. So I think it's just one of those. I mean, the whole tone of the show just completely switches from people sort of finding their feet and sort of navigating the social things, and then no matter where those characters are, we all just switch. We all just have to switch on. So I guess there's a bit of a soldier's mentality in
Hmm.
episodes, which is,
Especially with Dr. Abbott. I mean,
I was going to say exactly
he's
like,
incredible.
yeah, he's
Shaughnessy.
yeah, he's a great character to come in and lead that sort of switch,
Right.
that sort of tonal switch, because it does just turn into an operation, a military operation in a way. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so badass, man. Sean is so
So
bad.
badass. So
Yeah, yeah, he's
incredible.
so badass.
Can you talk about the physical demands of the shoot? Because I feel like you guys are just ducking and weaving and running. It's almost like a sports movie more than a medical show. And how do you keep that up? How's your conditioning?
Yeah, we were warned very early on that it was going to require a lot of standing up. I know that's sort of part and parcel on a film set, but it was really like we in our costume fittings they were like with our shoes. There was a lot of care and effort put into our shoes. Like you're going to be wearing these.
What do you wear?
I just wore some Sauconys. I was okay. Like some people who maybe struggle a bit more, like they really had to make sure they had the right shoes and test them out for a couple of days and all sorts of things.
Saucony sponsoring the Pitt in season 2.
Yeah, other shoe brands are
You know,
available.
people love a Hoka. I think that's what my girlfriend wears when
There were a
she's in
lot
the
of
hospital.
Yeah, yeah. There were loads of Hokas on set. I know Fiona went for some Converse,
Okay. On
potentially.
brand.
Yeah, but potentially regretted it.
Yep. Well,
As
you're
a
probably a
shoe.
football fan coming from Wales. I feel like they're always measuring how many miles or kilometers the players are running on the pitch, right?
Oh, dude, yeah. I wish I
I'm
did that.
curious what you logged.
Well, we're not. There was a big no phone rule on set.
Okay.
A lot of the time we didn't have our phones, but I think next year I think it would be interesting to just have like a little odometer on
Yeah,
something
yeah.
and just see because we are honestly up on our feet all day, every day. Um, and sort of seats are few and far between, and there's a bit of
Right.
yeah.
So a couple fun questions before we go.
Mhm.
Tell me about day one of living with Trinity Santos. What's for breakfast? What's her apartment like? Do you guys go for a walk? What do you think you guys are getting into?
Oh my God. For breakfast, probably fruit cups, I'd say. Some fruit cups taken from his room. Oh my God. I have no idea. Like in some ways, I feel they could be like the best like roommates, like or the worst. Like it could go so many ways. But I think yeah, there's like a nice little sibling thing there, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true. It's an older sister vibe.
yeah, like I think people were really like when Santos was like picking holes in Whitaker to begin with. They were sort of deep cuts, but I think Whitaker comes from like a big family of like brothers and stuff like that. So I think
Got it.
he's sort of used to it.
I couldn't believe how much I liked Santos by the end of the season and the journey with her as a character and Issa Briones' performance. Like,
Dude.
holy hell. I couldn't stand her in the best kind
Yeah,
of way early on.
yeah,
And by the end, I'm like, I want to go out and party with Santos. You can't show scenes outside the pit. That's not the show, but I would love to see you two on a social night out.
yeah. The spin-off, one
That
one
would
of many
be
spin-offs.
hysterical.
Yeah, it's just the genius of Scott and the whole writers team. Like, yeah, yeah, it's all intentional. But yeah, every character has a lovely full circle moment, and yeah,
Totally.
yeah, she's great, man.
This question comes from my girlfriend, who's a first year psych resident. As
Okay.
a fourth year medical student, what specialty do you think Whitaker should go into?
Specialty. Veterinary, probably.
Oh, he's done with the humans?
No, no, I really don't think he is, actually. I would like to think, not just so I have a job, but I would like to think he does get a little bit of a taste for ER and what it sort of offers, and how it is just sort of a culmination of everything. Yeah, I think he's got a little taste for the emergency room.
I like that. You
Yeah,
need more people like him in there, not just adrenaline junkies.
yeah, someone who can just persevere, I think, and sort of fight like a tiger for you.
So, what's your favorite moment from the season that didn't involve your character?
Oh, oh my God. I mean, so many of the guest star things because we're
Mm.
the brain death sort of
Hmm.
storyline. A lot of us weren't privy to. We'd obviously read them in the scripts, but a lot of that takes place between the mum and the dad and Robbie. So we'd always just see it in passing because we'd be doing our own things with our own patients.
Mm.
So seeing that was just gut wrenching, man. That was
When did you get to see that? When it aired, or
yeah,
at a premiere or something?
yeah. I sort of held off for quite a while watching it because obviously it aired when it was out. So I was one of the few who didn't watch it for a little while. But
Must
yeah,
be really fun to rewatch this show because hopefully the cast, you're all friends, so you're seeing each other in the background of shots. You're like, hey, oh,
oh yeah, dude. There's so many things. I was like, when did that happen? What day was
right,
that? Like, because
right.
we're always on set, but like we'll be deep background. We'll be like,
How
oh,
many days was the shoot?
it was 7 months,
7 months.
give
Wow.
or take. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a long time. Yeah.
Last question. In the pilot, Whitaker's ringtone goes off during a moment of silence,
Oh yeah.
and funky music, Show Enough Turns Me On by
Yeah.
Edwin Starr plays.
Uh-huh.
And in the finale, you're dancing to some Shaka Khan. My question is, does funky music, Show Enough, turn Whitaker on? And does Whitaker have a secret freaky side?
Ah, yeah, apparently so. I am yet to delve into that part of his character. Because I was like, yeah, that one song, I was like, that's just a really specific song. And I didn't really ask Scott about it. And I thought, oh, they'll use something else. And then no, they used that. And then it was, yeah, another funk Shaka Khan for the final episode. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, really.
We
When
got to get you on the dance floor with Santos in a P-Funk bar in Philly or in Pittsburgh. And then we'll
yeah.
really know.
Absolutely.
But you're showing off some dance moves. You're getting the shoulders into it.
Absolutely terrified. Yeah, I mean, we got that script really close to when we shot the scene, and I just thought, what? I can't dance.
Probably the worst person to walk in on you, walked in
Exactly.
on you.
Yeah,
Except you got a free room out of it. So
exactly. And they made me take my top off as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one thing after another.
well, Gerran, this has been so fun. I can't wait for season 2, but I got to be patient. I know the season literally just wrapped up, but that's the love that this show engenders in its fans. So I hope you know that. Are you shooting season 2 soon? Must be, right?
I mean, it's been announced, hasn't it? Yeah, that's all I know so far.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
amazing. Thank you so much, Gabriel.